Hi everyone. Frankie here, New West Reset. Hello. Welcome back. Thanks for shooting in and joining me here for another one today. A little something different here. On my way to do a meetup. Yes, that's right. I'm going to meet the one and only Bernie Conkin. That's right. The crypto alchemist. Bernie himself. So I'm going to hop on the train here and take it up the hill yonder, and today we're going to be checking out the Hart House, or otherwise known as the Hart Mansion. Famous wrestling family, the Hart family, you know, Bret Hart, Bruce Hart, Stu Hart, the patriarch, of course, their father, right? Davy Boy Smith married into the family, tons of Harts. Anyways, the Hart House was their home, and the basement was known as the Hart Dungeon, because that's where they did all their professional wrestling training, down in the basement. And there's stories of Bret Hart as a kid hearing big 250-pound men screaming and crying for their mother as Stu Hart tortured them down there, teaching them wrestling.
You pull it back. Oh yeah. You boom. Oh Lord. And you. Yes. Oh yeah.
So anyways, we're going to check that out today. Meet up with Bernie up there. And there's a couple of other interesting little factoids that Bernie's got. So we'll save that for when we get there. But right now I'm just going to get my train ticket, hop on the train, and zip up to meet Bernie. So stick around. Be right back. Alright, so here I am at the train station here, just waiting on Bernie. He's going to be here any minute to pick me up. Gotta tell you though, people, my guy's feeling a little uncomfortable. I don't know where I am right now. I've never been out here before. I'm way out in the suburbs. I mean, the streets are in like triple digits. There's no old world buildings and mudflooders around here anywhere. I'm scared. I'm a little scared. It's unfamiliar territory, but at least there's a hockey arena over here. Just as a quick side note, beautiful day here today. It's about +5 Celsius, which is, I don't know, like 40 Fahrenheit-ish, give or take. A little bit of blue skies there, and I think you can see peeking between these two buildings here. The Canadian Rocky Mountains right there, just over yonder. Still all covered in snow. The majestic, grand, majestic, beautiful, majestic, and grand Canadian Rocky Mountains there. Always a lovely sight to behold. And a bus blocking the view, so there it is. Alright, so here we are. What does that sign say? It says the Hart House. That's right, and that's where we are. And look who I've got with me.
Hello.
There he is. You all know that guy. A fella knows that fella. That's Bernie.
The Bernie.
That's
here
right.
With Frankie New West Reset.
And we're checking out the historic Hart House. Now, I mentioned earlier that Bernie had a couple stories about this place. Bernie's much more familiar than I am. But I did a little research before coming up here, and my research is from the interwebs, which, as we know, is peppered with BS. Bernie's got some first-hand knowledge because he knew the Hart family, or members of the Hart family, and grew up with a lot of them. But what I found out through my research was supposedly the house was built in 1904. Then in 1920 it became an orphanage. Then Stu Hart, the patriarch of the Hart family, purchased the house with his wife Helen in 1950, early 50s, 53, something like that, 51, somewhere in there. And they moved in, and the family grew. But apparently that's wrong.
That's wrong. The Harts told me that it was originally the Springbank General Hospital before anything else, and that they believe that it was haunted because of this. And Tanya Hart saw one entity in the mirrors several times, and
Ooh.
I even saw it myself, and it gives me the heebie-jeebies.
It's creepy. So it was built prior to 1904. So the official narrative on the Wikipedia is wrong.
It is. And
big shocker.
It's like, why would they hide that and lie about it? Because the Harts that owned it straight up told me it was built in the 1800s, and then before anything it was the Springbank General Hospital. And yeah, it's weird. I was shocked when I looked it up a couple years ago and they left that detail out. So.
Yeah, that's weird, right? Because I mean, that's
Very
why hide that? So let's have a look at this beauty here. You can see it's like I said, like I said earlier, it's a nice day today. It's pretty mild out, the sun's shining, but it's Canada, so you know,
we got
snow. But I mean, this is a beautifully constructed house, and it's got a lot of nice architectural details. It's got
a lot of brick.
Yeah, it's got a lot of brick. Wow, I like the roof line on that. The
Right?
kind of the
Very
curved
beautiful.
swoops on there. 2 different color brick on there, sort of a more of a red brick and then a deeper, almost burgundy brick.
And those bottom windows from the ground floor, when you're standing there looking out of it, it actually sees through above the houses and the Calgary downtown skyline.
So you
from there.
still have a view of downtown
Despite
over all
that.
all these condos and stuff. Okay, that's nice, because you know at one time there was nothing up here but cattle ranches, so the view would have been spectacular. So it's nice that it hasn't been spoiled. Got some little techie stuff there on the little peaks there that a guy's
look at
noticing.
that. It looks like there's a little bit of antiquitech on there.
Maybe
still, even.
maybe those were the mounts for the tech, and they took the tech down and just left the mountings on there. So it's private property. I don't know who owns it, but apparently there's nobody living in it right now. So we're going to try to sneak on there because, well, selective vision, but I don't see a no trespassing sign. But we know that it's supposed to be no trespassing. But
I never heard that.
But that could be hearsay. That could be third-party hearsay. A guy can't believe everything he reads on the interwebs. So I think we're going to just walk up the driveway because that's where there's no sign that indicates no trespassing.
Indeed.
So yeah, we'll just take it. And this was all their properties. This is like a huge yard. This was what, like 5 acres or something?
At least. And then yeah, there's a whole other house in the back of it.
Oh yeah, they were fancy.
big.
They had a guest house. So the haunting was supposed to be in the main house, though, right?
Sorry?
The haunting was
Yes. Oh yes.
or the spirits
There's
or what
a
have you.
dungeon in it too, the famous wrestling dungeon, but it was more than that. It was like the hospital operating area rooms.
Oh, that's where the operating theater was when it was a hospital? It was down in the basement?
That's what how the story goes.
And they called it the dungeon because, well, I talked about that earlier in the video here, that Stu Hart, professional wrestler from England, moved to the US, then up here to Canada. And he was training wrestlers. So he would hold tryouts, basically. And, you know, you'd have professional football players and big giant guys coming in. And the reason I got the name The Dungeon is because Stu Hart literally tortured these big corn-fed mules of men, 250-pound men, and he would bring them to tears, make them scream for their mothers. And that's how I got the name The Dungeon.
You can hook this leg in here, and then you chase him.
They got a chain here, but I think a guy, I'm not a tall feller, but I think a guy can swing his leg over that. Yeah, that's like a foot off the ground. That's not keeping anybody out. This long tree-lined paved driveway here. I think Bernie's going to be going live this thing, I think, on his channel. So links in the description below for Bernie's channels. He's got a couple of them, so I'll put the links for all of them down in the description. I'm going to try to avoid the glare, but it's getting to be sort of mid to later afternoon here, so the sun's getting low in the sky. It's a nice driveway, kind of curves around real nicely here. And yeah, we got the sun behind the roof there. So we've got looks like a more modern edition of a garage door shooting underneath the front porch there. But of course you got to go up 11.4 million stairs to get to the front porch. Yeah, it's a big place. So there's another, they've built an addition onto the back, and then there's another sort of under porch, underground parking there under the house. So I guess the basement would be in between these under the main portion of the house there. There's the garage slash guest house there at the back, which is all boarded up, unfortunately. Let's have a look at the detail of this brick here. You can see what I'm saying about that two-tone brickwork. Really beautiful, big 3-story house. Sandstone above and below the windows there, as you can see. That's standard fare here in Calgary. At one time we had roughly a dozen sandstone quarries here, so it was real quick and easy to use the sandstone as a lovely detail. Swing around to the front here and hook your peepers onto this gloriousness. So look at that brick.
Shout out Cherry Eyes. Thank you for the Valentine's Day gifts.
Very nice. So it's got a plaque on it. So, I mean, we're not, supposedly no trespassing, but they put a plaque? That never makes sense to me. But let's check out the plaque here. The Crandall House. That's not right. It's the Hart House. Come on now. Red Cross Children's Home, 1920. Okay, I'll just hold it there if you want to pause it. So yeah, I said it was built in 1905, supposedly, but from what we've learned, right from the horse's mouth, if you will, that's not true. I mean, we all know you can't always rely on Wikipedia anyways. So it looks to me like they used a different kind of brick here for the porch. So I don't know if at one time this was a wooden porch and then they've reconstructed it with brick. Not too sure. So Stu Hart, the Hart family, probably very recognizable to many of you. WWE, formerly WWF wrestling. But before that, Stu Hart had his own wrestling territory, which was Saskatchewan, Alberta, and southern British Columbia. And it was
Stampede Wrestling.
Stampede Wrestling, that's right. My dad used to take me there as a kid. I met a couple of the wrestlers, met Ed Whalen, the play-by-play man extraordinaire. Rest in peace, Ed Whalen, one of the best in the biz. So yeah, there's a little bit of that tech remaining up there. Beautiful chimney. They carried on that two-tone brick on the chimney as well, which is a nice detail. And these sort of pillars here. So it looks like it's got a newer foundation. I know there's been multiple rounds of renovations on this house from the sort of the 30s onward. So new concrete foundation there, but a really low door there, which looks kind of funny. So I don't know if that was a window or an existing door that they've just sort of smeared over with this new foundation. But again, I have my doubts if this is a foundation or if it's just one of those phony, false foundations. Yeah, see, it looks to me like that's just, again, a layer of schmutz that they put over there. I think this old place is a mud flooder. Yeah, see, there's sandstone. Big, huge sandstone there. They've poured a little concrete wall here, retaining wall, but then they've capped it off with beautiful big sandstone to keep this earth from coming down into that doorway, that sunken doorway. Nice detail above the window there with the brickwork. There's a vehicle here. So I don't know if it's a caretaker or the owner of the place. Hopefully we don't get chased out of here. So there's the guest house there. Sort of a separate garage / guest house. Some of it's boarded up. The same beautiful detail with the brickwork there. Nice dormers on it and everything as well. And just a nice cedar shingle roof on that thing, still in nice shape. It's got the raised upper veranda there on the back side. This is the west facing side, but also has that nice detail on the front, east facing side. Nice grand entrance up here with the beautiful wooden doors. Got some lower windows here that have been boarded in from the inside. Shout out to Bernie. He's live streaming this thing right now on his channel. Look at the chimneys on this thing. This thing's got 3 chimneys on it. Really, really cool. We'll take another little walk around to the front here. Hang tough. Be right back. Get some more little detail there with that sort of swooped roof line there with the peak. A little bit of remnants of some tech up on there. Really, really nice details. So yeah, let me scoot or shoot or swing around to the front here. Give you another nice wide shot of the front of this thing. So it's a very classy looking, lovely house. It's supposedly the style of this house is just sort of a prairie ranch style is what they say, with some Edwardian and Victorian influences to it and small details. But I mean, either way, no matter what the time period it was supposedly built in, it's quite a lovely house, you know. Fairly modest, but in its time it would have been quite a grand home or a grand mansion. I mean, it is locally known as the Hart Mansion / Hart House. So the Harts themselves never refer to it as a mansion. They just refer to it as their house. But us here in Calgary, the locals, we always kind of refer to it as the Hart Mansion, and we consider the Hart family as sort of local royalty here anyways. They did a lot to put Calgary on the map in terms of professional sports when it comes to wrestling. So yeah, what a great old place, and what a massive property. I mean, this curved driveway goes back around. We came up this side, but it curves all the way across the front of the house and back down the other side of the property. Goes all the way along there to where that sort of rock wall is at the back there, and where the trees are lined across there. And then, of course, again, that big guest house at the back. There's that other big chimney stack there. Huge, huge. So I would imagine that one of these chimneys is for the main fireplace in the main part of the house, probably this, the hearth, the main hearth. And then probably the other chimney for a fireplace in the basement, and then the third chimney for fireplace on either second or third floor, I would imagine. That's how my great-granddaddy's place was, minus the fireplace in the basement, because their old farmhouse didn't have a basement. But they had a main floor fireplace and a second floor fireplace with separate chimneys or smokestacks. So I'm thinking that's the deal here. But yeah, great looking place. Really, really cool. I didn't realize the two-tone brick feature on this thing, even just from looking at it online and seeing documentaries about it. I didn't realize that detail was so apparent. It's really, really nice. It's quite unique. So yeah, I think that is going to seal the deal here today for Frankie here at New West Reset at the Hart House / Hart Mansion. So let me know what you think down in the comments below, if you would. Just kind of beep boop bop it there for me. And of course do all the other stuff. And I want to thank Bernie once again for coming out here with me and sharing this delight and this very, very historically significant local Calgary landmark. So yeah, until the next one, have a good one. Take care out there, and I'm going to see what's making that dog barking like that. He sounds upset. He needs a milk bone or something, or some tummy rubs. So take care, all. See ya. Cheers.
He has a
Yeah.
against the head.
That'll wake you up.